What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Batman Detective Comics issue 1069. In this issue, we find Batman has been severely beaten down, barely holding on to life. If it were not for Two-Face, Batman would not be here. But the split personality that is Harvey Dent and Two-Face, they find themselves really butting heads with one another. In order to save Batman's life, Harvey Dent had to let his other personality, Two-Face, he had to let him know that Batman is in fact Bruce Wayne. So now the secret is out. What Two-Face and Batman plan to do with that is still very much up for debate. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up at Dr. Joy's apartment. Harvey had brought him here just to make sure that he was going to survive. And what Dr. Joy sees is a Batman as broken as a man can be, that she may be able to mend the work of sticks and stones. But the soul is a hard appendage to salvage. Spying with her eye a man who is also a city, this city, in fleeting the city dreams of stars. But it is also aware of the devilry that is within the mad city, Gotham City. Seeing the battle at the end of all things, the struggle for the heart of Gotham, that they are going to need Batman before it is all done. All of them. The freaks, the villains, the drifters, the grifters, the madman's laughters. And while they may make for strange bedfellows, they are not sure who they will get. The broken boy or the demon beneath his skin. This is where Batman wakes up, his head pounding. But Batman is alive. This is where Two-Face and Batman have a conversation. Two-Face letting him know that he made a deal with Harvey. Harvey gave up the name of Batman in order for Two-Face to save Bruce Wayne's life, saying that he is now gonna go hide away. He's gonna hide away where nobody can find him, saying that if he somehow makes it out alive, if he continues on his crusade that he is sure that he is going to do, he has no problem with this. But if Batman ever comes after Two-Face again, if he ever tries to fix them or save Harvey by ripping the two of them apart, then Two-Face will go after everyone and anyone that he has ever cared about. He will make them suffer. And then he will put a bullet into his own head and do it right this time. And so he tells Batman that it is time for you to leave. The Orghams are gonna be coming. As Two-Face leaves the building, we see a giant explosion on the outside. As the Orgham troops make their way in, Batman was able to escape, having to lay down the hate on some Orgham thugs that were on the outside. Still in pretty bad shape, but he made it out. That's what picks us up with Jim Gordon. Jim has been searching high and low for Batman. He has been out for 2 days casing anywhere that he might show up, but he is starting to lose hope. Having this conversation with Oracle, hearing something at his front door. This is when he goes over to the door and he finds Batman. Picking us up with the Orgham family. They are learning that killing the Batman is not as easy as they thought it would be. It's almost as if the city itself is protecting him. They think maybe now they're going about it all wrong. Instead of trying to rid Batman from Gotham, maybe they should try something differently. This is where Arzen lets it be known that he wants a bigger Azmer army. He wants to control everything. He wants it all. He wants to double the pace of everything that they have been doing. He plans to cut Gotham off from its addiction to Batman, of needing his help, of needing his saving. And then, that is when Batman will come to them. They can handle him once and for all. That's what takes us to Gotham City Police Department 3 days later. At the office of Commissioner Montoya, what we are seeing is that crime is at an all-time low. Now, there are issues like the substation fire and half a tower of people just randomly going missing. But setting aside those small encounters, when it comes to the overall scheme of the city, everything is at an all-time low. But Montoya knows that there is something more here. But as she's talking to one of the uniformed officers, what he is letting her know is that if you don't appreciate the good moments, if you don't give credit to the GCPD, then it's more than likely you will not be sitting in that seat for long. As he makes his exit, she opens up a small cabinet, but she begins to think of maybe calling up somebody. She wants to talk to Eric Wells. Now that is what picks us up back with Jim Gordon and Batman. And Jim is letting him know that you can't keep doing this. And he's not referring to Batman coming to him for help anytime he needs it. He's talking about the puncture wounds, the broken ribs, the remnants of poison that is running through his system for 6 days. Jim has kept his mask on, he has patched him up, and it's just too much. It is too much for any one man to take all of this. Now, of course, he says that it's not for Batman. But Batman is mythology. Myths don't bleed. Jim is talking about the man behind the mask. There is an edge, a precipice beyond which no one was meant to go. And he does ask him, have you ever been truly this close to the edge? Jim saying that he's lost a marriage, his children, his own sanity to this city, and he came back. After all of that, he can only imagine what it has taken from Batman. The people, the relationships, the life, the body, the heart, the soul. Batman says that he will give until there is nothing left, and then he will give some more. That this is the only way he knows how. But this is where Jim, he kinda changes the subject and talks about Barbara. Talks about how she found something in the city. Something underneath everything. He goes on to say that he's worried not necessarily about time. He's really worried about all the things that Batman will have to give up to keep on going. But while he's going on this conversation, we see that Batman is already slipping out the window. While Jim is still talking, Batman does listen. He respects him, he cares about him. But Batman knows that he cannot stop. And so, jumping out the window, he gets in contact with Oracle. She lets him know that there are lines beneath Gotham. Lines beneath the exterior. That every system of chaos within inside itself has the potential for order. This is looking as if it is some kind of unknown grand design underneath everything. And when Batman had gone missing, she tracked everything that was going on. From the substation fire to Freeze being there somehow. They know that this was not coincidence, or at least it seems that this is not coincidence. But Oracle says that Freeze had recognized all of this before she did. He's been on the move the whole time, but there are specific substations and junctions he built into, laid down power, and built his coolant units. They all sit along these lines, but it could just be coincidence. And so Batgirl was sent down there to investigate. What Batman is unaware of is all the people that are currently being held prisoner underneath Gotham. As one of these prisoners is able to make an escape by putting on a mask, we see her name being Shoes. We see her run. She runs as fast as she can, as all the guards descend down on top of her. The guards get one heck of a surprise, because Grundy has arrived. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Definitely a fun issue. I do have to say, I pretty much read everything related to Batman right now that is ongoing. And in every single line that Batman is in, he is on the verge of death. He has been beaten to a pulp. He is barely alive, barely able to get up. I mean, we're reading the Batman run right now by Storsky, and he got sent to another freaking universe on a different Earth in a new Gotham, and he finds himself pretty much in the same situation that he is right now with Inside Detective Comics. Now, I'm gonna have to go back and I'm gonna have to look at exactly when Detective Comics takes place in conjunction with everything going on, because we're seeing Batman, he's just getting beat down every step of the way in every single comic. He has died, or he is on the verge of death and he has been down for days. I mean, hell, just in Batman vs. Robin, he literally died, and it took a little piece of everybody's soul in Gotham to bring him back to life. And so I think the little dialogue here between Jim Gordon and Batman is very important. Because yes, Bruce Wayne is gonna have to sacrifice a lot. And while Jim is focused on that, and it's a noble thing to focus on, I think the bigger question is how long can Batman do this? We have seen him do this for decades, for years. Where does it get to the point that this man stops? Or where does it get to the point that he eventually just dies? He's getting older, and recently we have seen him being inflicted with such dramatic injuries that it has led to death, or it has led to him having to hide away for possibly days to weeks at a time just to get back to 100%. And I have no problem with the idea that we are going to just say that Batman always comes back. I have no problem with the idea saying that Batman can heal up, that he is no ordinary human, and he will always be there on the streets of Gotham. But when we have so many storylines that are just using him as a punching bag, with writers pushing him to the very edge of death so many times, how long does it take before we just get sick and tired of seeing Batman bloodied, bruised, and on the verge of death? Let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with Detective Comics, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having 5 different tiers. From $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you are unable to do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.